Today I'm going to talk about root guru, finding a root guru, and what it means to follow a root guru. We've all heard the phrase many times, root guru. But exactly what it means, it's not always understood. Sometimes we might think that, well, the person we took refuge with or received novice or bhikshu initiation from is our root guru. That may be the case, and it may not be the case. It may be that the person that introduced you to the Dharma is not your root guru. And it may be that a teacher you've known all your life and introduced you to the Dharma is not your root guru. They may be your guru all your life and not be your root guru. In fact, teachers that may have been with you your entire life and been a very important inspiration for your practice your entire life may not be your root guru. And that teacher or those teachers, even if there might be many, even they know that they're not your root guru. And nevertheless, it doesn't interfere with the relationship you have with those teachers, or maybe a single teacher. They continue to teach you, they continue to inspire you, even though they're not your root guru. They know it, and you know it, and it doesn't interfere whatsoever with the fact that you receive teachings from them. They inspire you, and you feel very connected with them. But a root guru is somebody that you have a little bit different connection with. A root guru is someone that you connect with in a very special way. And he connects with you in a very special way. It's sort of like a mother and a child. A child will do anything for his mother. He will make any sacrifice to protect her, to nurture her if she's sick, to even steal for her if she was suffering from poverty and he had no resources. A child will do anything to guard and protect his mother. And a mother, of course, will do anything for her child. A mother will not only protect her child and sacrifice her own health and welfare and all of her wealth to protect and guard her child, but she will also give up her time and her wish to do things for herself, to look after her child, to clothe it, to prepare food for it. to take it where it needs to go, attend endless PTA meetings to assure the child is getting a good education. A mother won't go to sleep without seeing her child is asleep first. There's a very, very special bond between a mother and child, and a child and the mother. It's reciprocal. There can be 1,000 women in the room, and the child will know which one is his mother. No matter how much he may love his teachers, some of his friends, playmates, some of his mentors, some of his babysitters, some of his therapists, some of his counselors, in some way he may even like their advice more, in the case of therapists and counselors, and think that they give better advice than his own parents. But there's a bond that's perhaps genetic between a mother and child that's unshakable. It's unwavering. And so as a child grows up into womanhood or manhood, that sense of identity that a person has, that grounds a person to his parents, especially the mother, is very, very special. And no matter how many other women a son or daughter may encounter as they grow up and move into womanhood and manhood and meet incredible men and women, brilliant, wise, nurturing, compassionate, and loving people. No matter how many they meet, it never changes the connection. No connection can ever be like a mother and child. It's impossible. There may be technically better people that we all meet, higher people, more evolved people than our parents. There's no doubt about that. But still, the connection between ourselves and our parents, especially our mother, is indestructible. It's unchangeable. Even if we wanted to abandon our parents, we cannot. There's that identity, a feeling of oneness that we always recognize. Yes, that's my mom. And without that, we would never be who we are. It would be completely impossible. The way a mother looks upon her child is truly remarkable. It's a natural born compassion and love. It's a lesson in love. So even if we don't meet the Dharma in our life, the Buddha Dharma, the Christian Dharma, the Hindu Dharma, the Muslim Dharma, if we never meet a teacher, we always know what love is, what compassion is, what sacrifice is through our mother. Even if we don't acknowledge it, we experience it. Even if it doesn't get through our thick worldly skin, it's something we experience, and it's our support for life. Now, when we leave home and we go out into the world and we separate from our mother, at that time, we experience life in a new way. And if we have the good fortune to encounter a word of Dharma, a sentence of Dharma, a paragraph of Dharma, a page of Dharma, a book of Dharma, and we look at it, we think about it, and we say to ourselves, yes, I want to practice the Dharma. As soon as we have that resolve, and we have the resolve in a way that's moving to us, we begin practicing the Dharma. We begin meditation, we begin study, and we begin reflection. We all have obstacles to that. We have our karma, positive and negative karma. We have natural obscurations. We need a teacher to help us understand what we're reading, what we're studying and reflecting upon and meditating upon. The guru is the door that lets one enter the Dharma. The root guru is one that we will listen to, follow, and be inspired by. And most important, he is one that accepts us as his student and disciple. So, obviously, we may have excellent teachers, knowledgeable teachers, wise teachers, compassionate teachers, and teachers with great understanding. We may listen to them, practice according to what they say, be inspired by them, and progress according to the instructions we receive and the effort we make to follow those instructions. Still, there may be something we feel is lacking. We just don't feel that almost genetic connection like we would to our mother or towards our mother, no matter how great the teacher is. So when this is the case, we continue our practice, we continue visiting teachers, and we continue making an effort and progressing in accordance with that effort and the instructions we receive. All our teachers that we meet along the way, our first teacher, our second teacher, our third teacher, and so forth, we examine very carefully. And when we first meet those teachers, we're not committed, no matter how high a teacher that may be, to following him and sacrificing our time to listen to his or her instructions. Instead, we attend some teachings like a student attends a lecture in a college. We have no commitment. We are listening impartially to see how good the instructions are, how genuine our teacher is, and how much we are moved by his or her teachings. If after we feel a special connection with the teacher, then we commit ourselves to practice according to what he says, if certain requirements are met. What are these requirements? It's like a dog. A dog, when it sees a new dog in the neighborhood, meets it, sniffs it in the back, sniffs it in underneath, sniffs around the whole dog, and then sniffs its nose with its nose, and decides whether it's friend or foe. When we meet a instructor, a teacher, we want to, after getting the good vibes and knowing that, well, the teachings seem to make sense, then we look into the background of the teacher, his reputation, his life, and make sure that all is in order. We certainly do not want a teacher that appears good, but and says sweet words, but doesn't live by the teachings he teaches. Assuming all requirements are met, we commit ourselves to practice according to that teacher. As we begin such practices, we begin to learn what resonates with us and what doesn't. And we may attend several different teachings by several different teachers over the years, learning various practices. Of course, some practices will resonate with us more than others. We'll begin gravitating towards a certain kind of method, technique, methodology, practice. This determines which school of practice we're going to gravitate towards and meditate and devote our spiritual aspirations in accordance with. Once this has been determined, then it filters out some of the teachers that we have had taken us so far, and we seek teachers that are in the school of thought that we gravitate towards. This could be, for example, Chan or Zen meditation. It could be Dzogchen. It could be Mahamudra. It could be analytical meditation, the school of the Dalai Lama, and so forth. There's many, it could be the yoga school. We'll know where to put the emphasis, and there may be secondary support practices that support whatever our main practice is. So we narrow down the teachers this way, and the teachings that we're going to go to, or the teachings that we're going to embrace in terms of our practice. So over the years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 years of practice, as our practice matures, we will resonate in a particularly intimate way with a particular teacher. That teacher may not be the wisest, may not be the most compassionate, may not be the one with the deepest understanding, or the greatest love. He may not be the teacher with the greatest lineage, the one who's the most famous, the one who's the most popular, the one who's most sought after, the one with the greatest reputation. He will be, however, a master with an impeccable conduct, an unwavering love of Dharma, knowledgeable, and most important, we will feel that this is my teacher. This is the one I connect with, even without hearing a word of what he says. He is one that will recognize, yes, this is my student. I can help him. He's the one who feels a very special connection with us, like a mother has for her child. And we feel that connection. even without a word being spoken, we know that, yes, I will dedicate myself to this teacher. There's no thought about how wonderful he is or she is. It's a reciprocal bond that no doubt goes back many lives. And we eventually are drawn into a relationship with a teacher that has been our teacher for many lifetimes. Once we reconnect with a teacher, our practice is secured, our foundation is there, and we can practice with confidence, without doubt, without wavering, in a way we hadn't been able to do before. We can practice with greater ease. We can practice in ways that we never had dreamed of prior. The presence of our teacher will be there inside of us. It's a mind-to-mind seal that one has with one's teacher that is indestructible, and that we know in a way that we don't know anything else, and that we identify with in a way that we don't identify with anyone else. The importance of finding a teacher, or actually merging with a teacher, is something that cannot be overemphasized. The teacher is the door to understanding. And we must enter that door to understand, to gain understanding. So how do we enter that door? Well, it's not so easy as going around and looking for a teacher. It means practicing the Dharma with a sincere heart, and a longing that through one's devotion and practice, a teacher will be attracted to our life. We will pull the teacher through our vulnerability into our lives. We must be a prey, so to speak, to our teacher. If the merit isn't there, we won't attract a teacher into our life. So we can't go around looking, but we can make ourselves a prey, a victim of our teacher through our practice. When that happens, when we fall prey to a teacher, we are like a child that has been lost in a marketplace that's reunited with his mother. the joy is incomparable to anything else, and the feeling of security and confidence that now I can accomplish all I have been studying for these years, and all the meditation I have been doing can come to fruition, because at last I have a guide that's truly connected with me. So when one has a root guru, that's what it's about. It's a special sense of identity. The guru identifies you as his child, and you identify with the guru as your mother. The disciple-teacher relationship is unshakable, and there is never any moment of doubt. Once one has a root guru, the root guru will always be present in one's mind, no matter where one goes. If one goes to study with other teachers, receive other teachings, the guru himself may send a student to receive teachings from other masters. Perhaps the guru sees in his disciple a need for a specific teaching, and he knows that another teacher is more skilled at that practice. He will send his student there with a little note like, "Here is my disciple, please guide him." For the welfare of a disciple, the guru may send his student off. Traditionally in Chan monasteries, for example, it's been known, it's very common for masters to send students off to study with other teachers. In the Tibetan tradition, this is also the case. This is what makes these systems so strong. So the beauty is that no matter how many teachers we may go to, or many teachers we've had before finding our root guru, once we've found our root guru, no matter who we study with or where we go, the root guru is a source of identity to us, a grounding to us, a grounding for our practice that nothing compares with. So we're fortunate if we have that binding with a root guru. It gives us freedom to go and study anywhere, with anyone, with any system, and always have the presence of one's guru within us. In fact, those who have a root guru, even great masters such as His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Master Xuanhua, my own teacher, Dogo Khyentse of the Nyingma tradition, Tushik Rinpoche, also of the Nyingma tradition. Even the greatest masters have their own gurus that they pray to every time they do a session of meditation, ritual, devotional practices, and so forth. It's always offered to the guru first. That's part of the practice. That's part of the devotion that one has every time one sits for meditation, even for study, prostrations, or any kind of practice. It's always the student who offers it to the guru. And this is even for the greatest of teachers. I've heard my own teacher praise his guru many times, and I've heard other teachers such as the Dalai Lama, Dogo Kensei, and Orgen Truloku. Amma, the Hindu hugging saint. They all worship and pay homage to their own teachers first, even if those teachers are deceased. That's what it means to have a root guru. Without that, the door to deep Dharma practices is not open. They open the door. The root guru opens the door to Dharma practice. If we want to open that door, if we want all of our meditation and study and reflection to really take root in us, no pun intended, we need a root guru. And we start by attracting and readying ourselves to, and preparing ourselves to be someone that a guru can teach. Because a guru, a root guru especially, that does not want to spend energy and time on someone that will be like a stone with water dripping on it that nothing sinks into. A good teacher has many disciples. His energy is only so much. He has unlimited energy for those who can absorb his teachings. He has no energy for those who cannot. So we have to, in order to find a root guru, we have to be prepared. We have to ready ourselves. We have to be a proper vessel for awakening. So we have to do our part. And if we do our part, then we will succeed in finding a guru, attracting a guru into our lives that embraces us as a student and gives us teachings that accord with our ability to understand and practice. It's as simple as that. And if we understand that, then we understand what a root guru is.